Hi Pete 7006 students. I'm going to quickly go over the lesson plan and hopefully answer some of the questions that you might have about this. If you still need to ask me questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email. Okay, real quickly, the front matter of the lesson plan is pretty easy and pretty self-explanatory. However, it's vital that you include the grade level as well as the number of students. That's really important. Also, these major movement concepts that you're going to be covering in the lesson. Okay, that should be taken almost directly from your block plan. And as you go forward, you kind of figure out what this particular class, most of the students, where are they in regards to skill proficiency? Are they at the control level? Are they at the utilization level? And I went ahead and just said that most of the group is going to be kind of right in the middle, which is typically the way it is. Okay, and then we go down to the objectives, which are vital, really, really important. And notice here we have, there's different parts, and you need to include all parts of learner objective. You need the domain-specific verb, action verb. For psychomotor, it would be demonstrate. Being able to demonstrate motor skill, perform motor skill. That's the psychomotor domain. For cognitive, it's list right here. But you want to include other cognitive action verbs like explain, understand, verbally explain, in written form explain. So you want to use the cognitive word or verb right here that indicates that's the cognitive domain. And then obviously you want to affect the affective domain, and those domain-specific verbs are cooperate, display teamwork, display compassion, empathy. You want to use those kind of domain-specific verbs when you're specifically looking at the different domains. Okay, so you're going to include the verb, you're going to include the task, you're going to include the assessment that you're going to use to show that this task was learned. And then also very, very important is the score or the standard that you're set using the assessment, which should reflect target learning, which goes back to this. Now, all of these should also go back to the major concepts that you're going to be covering. So, for instance, psychomotor is demonstrate accurate passing both forearm and overhead during the major task drill. And then we'll talk about the phase chart in just a second. And then achieving the target score of 7 out of 10 on the game performance assessment instrument, GPAI, and I've attached those as well, and you should too if you're going to be including an assessment that is hard copy like that. Cognitive is list 3 right here is the standard or the score. Okay, so list 3 cues, learning cues for setting up the attack on the closure exit ticket, and it says see lesson plan, and that's okay too. So you're going to be showing me how you're going to be doing that exit ticket. Affective is cooperate with his/her group participating during participants during the setting up the attack drill at all times. Now see, at all times is the score or the standard. So hopefully everyone will work well together in their groups. Using a thumbs up, thumbs down check during closure. And that's your assessment. And if you read through the lesson plan, you're going to see that. Okay. So you want to include learner cues, some basic learner cues for each of the skills you're going to be covering. You want to include your teacher objective, your own objective for what you're going to be working on in regards to being a better teacher. Also, you want to list the equipment used, and not only the equipment used, but the number that you're going to be needing. So obviously here I have at least 15 to 20 volleyballs, a few soft trainer volleyballs for students who may need help, 6 volleyball courts, 35 individual jump ropes for the warm-up. So if you're going to do a fun warm-up, make sure you include that equipment too. Okay, here's the phase chart. Lesson phase chart, because lessons always have phases. They, typically have a beginning, which is our initial kind of warm-up instant activity. And then you also have then the informing task, or the major task that you're going to be talking about, which is right here. And then you're also going to have extensions and refinements that feed into the informing task. And then you're also going to have towards the end a culminating activity that takes what was just learned and put it into an activity, a fun kind of activity. Plus, you need to include assessments. And then plus you need to plan for the diverse learner. You can choose one of those learners. Okay, one diverse. I went ahead and gave you 3 different types of learners that are diverse. You have someone in a wheelchair, you have someone with ADHD, and you have even a gifted student who's super, super good at volleyball. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to challenge them? Okay, and so then you have closure, and then it's showing exactly how to do the exit ticket. You have a layout of how the drill is going to go that I mentioned in the lesson plan, as well as the GPAI. And I gave you an example of what a GPAI looks like. It is an authentic assessment for gameplay. So you let them play 3-on-3, and you as the teacher are the expert, and you can figure out how they did regarding overhead pass, forearm pass, and then total points. Okay, you just watch them and you tick it off. You watch them 5 times, and 3 out of the 5, for instance, right here, we're good at the overhead pass, and 5 out of 5 for the forearm pass. So they got a total point of 8, and that means that they met or exceeded the score, the target learning score. Here's someone with a 6. Obviously, they didn't meet the score, so what are you going to do to help them achieve that? It looks like they need a lot of help here with the forearm pass, since they only got 2 out of 5. Okay, and then not only that, but I also included the rubrics for you guys to look at on what a rubric looks like, as well as how you would employ it in your assessment. Okay, so that is really kind of a real quick and fast breakdown of how to do the lesson plan. Don't forget to include the time, the number of minutes. That's going to be vital for the different phases, because you want to plan that out and you have enough time for everything. So look through all the different parts of the lesson chart. Try to replicate what I have put here. And remember, you can't do basketball. You must use your block plan and take out 1 day from your block plan and write a lesson very much like this and submit it. Okay, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. Bye.